We're just going to have a look at how you create a course announcement. So that would be an announcement that is available to all students and instructors on a particular course, in this case English language A2. Now it might be worth just thinking about how students see announcements and how they work with announcements. So in the home page of the course, they have an announcements box, and you can see here that there are 2 announcements that have been posted, or at least there are 2 announcements that have been posted in the last 7 days. And I say that because I can change my preferences in this little preferences wheel up here in the top right. Just click on that and change that from 7 days to 30 days. Just click on submit. You can see then that there's another announcement down there on resitting the AS level exam that has been posted previously. To view an announcement, not surprisingly, you just click on the announcement, but it is quite important that you notice that that takes you just to the general announcements page. It doesn't take you to one specific announcement. So that means you don't want too many old announcements cluttering up the page, and as announcements become irrelevant, then obviously we need to keep on top of those and delete them. Now we're viewing this as students would view it, because at the moment we have the editing mode turned off, and if I just turn that on, we can view that as an instructor on the course would view that page. And you can see that there actually is an old announcement here. The item's not available. The time for that announcement that we set has passed. So we can just get rid of that if you click on this little context menu here, click on delete, and then OK that, and that will disappear now. So how do we create a new announcement? Well, not surprisingly, you click on this create announcement box or button, and just go into that. You need to give your announcement a title, and you need to put in some text. You can enter it directly into this text editor, or you can just copy and paste from Word or from an email or whatever. And then down here we choose when we want the announcement to display, and I would definitely recommend a date restricted announcement. If you don't date restrict, then the announcement will show forevermore, even when it's not relevant any longer. Students will still be able to see it. So try and date restrict announcements where you can. If you check this little button here, display after, then you can choose when you want the announcement to be visible from. If you leave that blank, then it will show as soon as you click on submit at the bottom. If you click on this little button here, well, that's saying when we want the announcement to come off. We can just over type here, or we can just pick up the date from this date selector, and I'll choose a week or thereabouts. So that announcement then will display until 5th of October, and then we choose the time that we want the announcement to come off as well. Again, we can just overtype that, or we can choose a new time rather, from the menu here. When we're happy with all of that, just click on submit, and there's your new announcement. Now this is quite important because the announcement that we've just posted will then go above all of the other announcements. We view that how students will see it. They'll see that at the top, and if they go into their home page, then again they'll see that above the other announcements that we've got in there. If we go back into the announcements page and back into editing mode, then we can change the order in which those announcements appear. We've got these little handles at the side, and we can just drag and drop and put the announcement in a new position. Or if that doesn't work very well, because Internet Explorer doesn't always work terribly well with Blackboard, we have what's called the keyboard accessible reordering, up here. It's not very visible, but if you just click on that and then pick up the new announcement, then we can use these up and down buttons here to put the announcement into a new place. Click on submit and then just OK. Now, if an announcement is very important and we want it always to be at the top of the announcements list, we have this line here, new announcements appear below this line. So let's see what happens there. If we move that to, well, put it anywhere really, I'll put it there. What that means now is that this announcement, borrowing a departmental voice recorder, that will always appear at the top of the announcements list, and any new announcement will come in below it. So if we just create another new announcement, give it a title, put in some text, and click on submit. I haven't put my date restrictions in. I won't date restrict this just for speed. So you can see here then that we've got our really important announcement at the top of the list. Another announcement has come in just below it, and then again we can reorder as we see fit. So that's a really useful way then of keeping certain announcements fresh in students' minds. And if you go to the home page, then you can see that we've got that very important announcement at the top, and then they're ordered exactly as we were looking at them previously. And if I just go back into the announcements, I'll go in this time through more announcements at the bottom here. Just have a look at this particular announcement here. It looks slightly flasher than the other announcements probably, but all we've done there, there's a hyperlink in here to a review of this particular TV program. We've put a picture in, and we've done that by putting a table into the announcements box. So if I just create an announcement, then give it a title. So in the text editor here, I've just clicked on this little button here to create a table, and I've said, well, I want a table that is 1 row and 2 columns. Just submitted, and then what I've done, I've just copied my picture into the first cell here, and my text into the second cell over here, and then obviously you just submit, and you get perhaps a slightly more attractive announcement that perhaps is more eye-catching or whatever. And I think that's probably about it for announcements.